OTB AM.
Thanks to Screwfix.ie, championing the trade with a dedicated call centre.
OK, we'll start with the Irish Independent this morning, and their back page obviously is leading with Kildare hit with crowd blow after winning venue row. This is like Martin Brownie kind of thinks it's breaking news to all of the Kildare people that they were going to have less tickets. I mean, this was never really about the amount of people from either county being at the ground. It was the fact that you actually get to play your match at home on that pitch as opposed to in Croke Park because you were entitled to it. But anyway, obviously everybody knew what the situation was going to be with the tickets, that Mayo have 3,500 season tickets, Kildare 1,000, so therefore there'll probably be more Mayo people than Kildare people at the game. Fair enough.
Yeah,
no one really cared or worried about that.
No, it's the lesser of two evils, really. It is worth pointing out. It is news, for sure. It's a quirk that is definitely worth talking about, but it is the lesser of two evils. The players, for once, have the power in the situation where they have the home advantage because they were drawn out first, and that's kind of a full stop on that, really, isn't it?
In an ironic twist, which most Kildare supporters would not have anticipated, they'll be outnumbered 2-1 by the Green and Red of Mayo for one of the most eagerly anticipated qualifier tires since they were first introduced 17 years ago. They wouldn't have anticipated it, except that everybody talked about it the whole way through. It was like, okay.
Yeah, it's not a shock.
I didn't suddenly think we were going to have like 8,000 of the 8,020 tickets.
No, of course not.
White cliffs surrounding the whole ground going, no, it's fine. Just don't worry about it, Martin. We'll be grand.
Pelting stones over the concrete wall at all those Mayo hooligans outside.
Yeah. Apparently there isn't going to be any crowd trouble.
Well, how do you know that, Gerrard? GAA fans are absolutely disgusting animals, and they're going to beat lumps out of each other outside St. Conleth's Park on Saturday.
With their children, using their children as battering rams.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be like, there's going to be an Elijah Wood movie made about what happens outside St. Conleth's Park on Saturday.
And then not released for about 10 years. Boss Löw will consider future after shock exit for Germany. That's Joachim Löw. I don't know if you noticed, but like just after the second goal goes in, after the first goal goes in, they're like, okay, Thomas Muller's doing the very German thing. How long has it got? Oh, we've got 5 minutes. Come on, let's go. We can do this. We've got 5 minutes. It's going to be amazing. After the second goal goes in, Joachim Löw has a big route around and it's just one last classic, iconic. If I'm going down, I'm going down with my finger rooted all the way up trying to pick my brain. Did you notice? It was like, and then the camera panned away really quick and he was like, oh, stop.
I actually didn't notice that. I did see somebody tweeting last night saying we've been deprived of all the sensory body horrors that Joachim Löw had planned for the knockout stages of the World Cup.
It's clearly some kind of Tourette's though. Like, I didn't realise that it was a thing that he does at moments of great tension. And did he eat one once?
Here, I don't know. I don't know.
This crosses your head, does it? This is like
a small bit, yeah. It's like there isn't I'm sure there is actually a Wikipedia page on
Joachim Löw's nose-picking exploits.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Although it didn't really seem like a very stressful occasion when the most infamous occasions occurred in 2014. In fact, I think they were winning.
It was a 7-1 game, was it?
No, it wasn't a 7-1. No, it was much earlier in the tournament.
Was it?
It was daytime.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how I remember that.
There were a couple though, weren't there? There were separate ones.
Oh, there was, yeah, but it was all across one game, and then Löw had to come out after the game in a press conference and say, "Listen, I apologise to the world for what I've done."
I didn't know.
Yeah, he had to address it.
Right.
I think it was after game 1 or 2 in their group stages.
So I thought they were separate, and I thought that there was one where he got caught eating it. Is there another one where he's caught smelling his armpit? Is there? Or am I making that up now?
I don't quite recall that. All I remember is the hand down the trousers.
Oh, the hand down the trousers.
That was in the group stage.
Not the armpit, sorry.
No.
Did he smell his fingers?
What? Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh, God, right.
That's the most famous one.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't his armpit he was smelling his fingers after. It was down his trousers.
Yes.
What? Okay, here's a question I never thought I was going to ask. Front or back?
Front.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
Don't remind me of this horrible part of history.
There's Mesut Ozil, who apparently ended up in a verbal altercation with some fans. He threw his jersey into the crowd and turned away and then turned back, obviously having heard some abuse from somebody in the crowd, and had to be separated by a goalkeeping coach and a physio, apparently. Samba style Brazil see off Serbia as Swiss squeeze through is the other headline on the front there. John Myler says that Cork fans won't settle for Munster glory. I mean, obviously they want something better at this point, and I guess they're probably within their rights to as well. Conleth's climb down, there you go. Sean Kelly says GAA right to swallow the pride over Kildare out, and Jack Anderson explains why they did. If you want to know exactly what happened here, just read Jack Anderson's pieces, page 10 and 11, double page spread, in the centrefold of the Examiner Sports section today. Obviously it'll be online as well. He goes through the rules and exactly how and why Kildare would have had a case and why they would have won that case, both with the DRA and potentially in court. The type of stuff that as soon as it's presented to the GAA, they go, oh, okay, maybe we'll do a deal on this. Maybe we'll talk to the Gardaí, who've already told us that it's going to be grand, and just make sure that it's going to be grand. Is it going to be grand, lads? New information came to light. So that's his piece. He finishes, though, by making the point that in mediation training, you're always told that disputes are like an iceberg. The top 10% or so of what you see and think the dispute is about usually hides the real source of trouble below. The Kildare match goes ahead at the weekend. The weather's likely to be warm, but the iceberg of discontent with the GAA has not melted. Was this dispute ever really about Kildare's right to a home venue, or was it about a growing disillusionment, perceived or otherwise, with the GAA's direction? So a brilliant diagnosis.
Very good point.
Of exactly what's gone on here. That this wasn't really that. The outpouring of support for Kildare wasn't about Kildare's right to host the game in Newbridge. It was about this continual drumbeat of negativity about the relationship that Croke Park has with the grassroots. And in fairness, Alan Milton was addressing that point last night, saying he was going training the under-9 camogie team, and that they are GAA people. And so that's true. They are all dyed-in-the-wool GAA people, and yet this perception has been allowed to crowbar its way into the conversation. So whether or not it's the reality, Croke Park has to realise that that's the perception that's out there, and they need to start addressing the perception as opposed to being angry that the perception exists. Because you can be angry with it all you want, but it just leads to situations like this where it's like, well, no, we're not doing this for commercial reasons. We're not doing it because of this, but it's too late when you're explaining those things. And so, I don't know, you hope that this is a learning experience for everybody.
Yeah. Is it though? Is it going to be a learning experience for everybody? It's hard to... Okay, so that perception exists, but that perception exists because of a deep-rooted culture, I would have thought, in an organisation that doesn't change all that often. To change a culture within an organisation, you would have liked to have seen some sort of open movement and some fluidity in the way they think over the last few decades, and that doesn't seem to have been the case. That being said, you look at something, I know this is like very different to this situation, but you look at something like the structural changes that have been made to the championship and the legacy perhaps of Pádraig Duffy and the Sky deal, and you can be as cynical as you want about that, but the point I'm trying to make is that they were fairly radical changes, and maybe the GAA has made more radical changes over the last decade than it has over the previous, 120, 30 years of its entire organisation. So maybe now is a time when these conversations need to happen, and now is a time when that perception can change and a sea change can occur within the GAA. There is an opportunity here for them. Yeah.
The one caveat to all that, though, is the growing sense that Dublin are going to be unfairly advantaged by having 2 games at Croke Park. The games aren't fixed yet, which everybody keeps pointing out, but more than likely they're going to have 2 games because the first game is a Croke Park game, not a neutral game. The second game is a home game, and the third game is an away game, or whatever it is. You get 1 home, 1 away, and 1 in Croke Park. That's where the Super 8s are set up. But if the CCCC have the power to fix fixtures, then surely they've got the power to say, actually, you know what, that won't be a Croke Park game for Dublin, that first game. If Donegal agree to it, they'll have no Croke Park games themselves, but they will get a game on a neutral venue against the Dubs in Clonus. There's definitely room there. They're bound by the rule book from Congress for that game being a Croke Park game, but the CCCC in every other instance has full autonomy of power to dictate where fixtures are.
Clearly.
There's still a sense that, like, grasp the nettle and say, listen, Dublin, this is a great opportunity for you and your fans. Donegal County Board, this is a great opportunity for you guys. What do you think? Will we just do this once and see how it goes and be experimental? But there was definitely a sense that, like, oh no, that has to go before Congress and we're not getting involved in that. Let's not lift the lid on that. As opposed to just taking some of these controversies on and going, yeah, let's try this.
Yeah, the idea with Croke Park, I mean, is being kind of skewed in a way that is almost patronising to Donegal's players, as in, the Donegal players would love the opportunity to play at Croke Park. Every young kid growing up loves the opportunity to play at Croke Park. I'm pretty sure this Donegal team would love to beat Dublin and have the best opportunity at beating Dublin. To say that they would love the opportunity to play in Croke Park is a little bit patronising.
They're going to get an opportunity to play in Croke Park anyway, because they're going to reach semi-finals, especially if they get the chance to beat Dublin in Clonus, which, you know, maybe they wouldn't. But anyway, look, very quickly through the Irish Times this morning. Their lead story is obviously champions Germany and Löw exit under cloud of uncertainty. Brazil outclassed Serbia to set up Mexico clash, and Kildare win Battle of Newbridge, but supporters will be vastly outnumbered. Again, I think that's probably not that big a deal. The GAA turn over Kildare venue row. This is the Times Ireland edition, and Germany crash out of the World Cup. They've got a picture of a crying German with tear stains flecking the flags on her cheeks. I suspect that is the same picture that they're using on the front cover of the Times UK edition. And the final one from me for now is the Irish News. End of the world, holders Germany crash out and triple blow for Antrim. This is the Antrim footballers 2019 campaign has been damaged by the news that 3 of their footballers are going to be out. One's gone teaching, one blew his knee out. It's a long way away for the Antrim footballers.
Yeah, it is. My favourite story is at the front of the Racing Post, actually. It's like, you know, when sometimes the tabloids do, how is Raheem Sterling or Jamie Vardy? What beach are they in Spain at the moment? Look at that summer-loving picture. They're updating you on where Altior, native river, are during the national hunt-off season.
Riding of a different sort.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. The back page of the Herald is new low for Germans. World Cup Group F, South Korea 2, Germany 0. And Philly McMahon is saying it's a no-brainer for the Dubs to play in Croke Park. That's to do with the home game that Dublin have, which I don't think anybody is disputing. He's saying that if you'd ask any of the other Dublin players or management would they prefer to play in Parnell Park or Croke Park, it wouldn't really matter to us.
It's not that's not the choice though, is it? So Maura Trosney-Kelly was out at this, it was an AIG event yesterday, and she also spoke with Philly. Have a look.
When you're talking and you're going out to play for Dublin and you're playing in, say, Parnell Park or Croke Park, where do you see is the home venue for yourself, in your mindset-wise? Where do you prefer playing? What do you see as Dublin's home venue?
I don't know. I think we've played a lot in Croke Park. When I first started playing for Dublin, I was playing a lot in Parnell Park. Our home venue now depends when we rent Croke Park. You know, if we rent Croke Park, that's our home venue. If we don't, we play in Parnell Park. We're very lucky that we play in different pitches all over Dublin, so we're very used to changing grounds. We're very used to training on different pitches. So for us, ultimately, when you play in the championship stages, anyway, who really has a home ground? You know, when you get to the All-Ireland semi-final, All-Ireland final, who really plays at home? So ultimately, you just got to be able to be adaptable. And for us, we're lucky that we do that week on, week out.
The adaptability is a big thing, and I suppose when people look at Croke Park, it's such an honour to play there, an All-Ireland final day where everybody aspires to be. But isn't it funny how the mindsets change toward it, when how it's not a home game, or we dream of playing in Croke Park one day? I find that kind of interesting, the different approaches to it.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. I'm sure a lot of players would love to play in Croke Park all the time, and now you've got a situation where the team say they don't want to play in Croke Park, so it's very interesting.
Obviously, looking ahead now, you're going to go into the Super 8s. It's going to be a different ball game, and you guys will, I'm assuming, will be doing a bit of travelling anyway. It won't just be Parnell Park, Croke Park.
We love travelling. I think teams and other counties might think we don't, but we actually do. We love it. It's great for the fans. The colour the Dublin fans bring to other counties is massive. They learn a couple of new songs as well on the way. So for us, it's another way of us getting together and enjoying the journey.
Did you know that Dublin and their fans love going down the country?
Yeah.
They love going to other places.
I've
never heard that before. Did you know that it's nothing to do with the Dubs? Did you know that Croke Park isn't the Dublin home venue? It's Parnell Park. There is 3 facts that you can learn this morning.
That whole notion that it's not their home venue, come on. Is everybody not a grown up here? Do we not kind of understand that they play their home championship matches, it's their home ground? It is their home ground.
Home league matches at this point.
And their home league matches since 2011, since the spring series. It's come on, it's fine, it's okay, it's their home ground, but stop telling us all that they don't play matches in their home ground. Yeah, they do.
clearly.
Like, you can pretend that Parnell Park is their home ground, but it's not. And why treat us all like idiots?
Maybe we are idiots.
I mean, we are. That's true. No need to treat us like it, though. I mean, we're allowed to act like idiots, but you can't treat us like it.
You can at least patronise us and say, you've got a very big brain. A couple of the other back pages this morning. The back page of the Mirror is feeling so low. Boss Joachim admits his World Cup champs Germany deserved to exit, and he's right on that one. And Naby Keita says, great jersey for me. He's wearing number 8, of course, Steven Gerrard's former number at Liverpool.
Steven Gerrard gave him the jersey.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
Why are you not in Rangers? Why are you not in Glasgow doing your job? What are you doing giving Naby Keita his jersey?
Because all of the Rangers players are at the World Cup. Oh wait, no, actually probably 0 of them
What
are
are
at the
you
World Cup.
doing, Steven Gerrard? Get out of Liverpool.
It's weird, isn't it?
Oh, this is my jersey. I have to give it to you. You can't have it. Well, you can have it now because I've given it to you.
If they did retired jerseys in the Premier League, they definitely would have retired number 8 though, so maybe that's just the Liverpool version of retiring a jersey, handing it on to Naby Keita. The back page of the Irish Daily Star is all-time low. Joachim shock after World Cup champs crash out. Brazil coot loose. Brazil 2, Serbia 0. And grounds are now safe, says GAA. That's a big relief for all involved.
That's a good headline. Grounds are now safe.
Yeah.
This is, let's have a look at this. Oh my God. It's like he kind of undid the top button and everything. Owen's refusing to look at it.
It's
Jesus Christ. What stage of the game is this? And what the hell are you doing?
I don't think it was a particularly arduous moment in the game. I think his mind was wandering to like the next group game or something.
Oh God, I completely forgotten about that. It was just the nose
Obviously,
picking.
you forget about that, right? Like,
I don't know. It's just
you
the
have
nose
nightmares
picking.
about it every single day. No,
Not really. The nose picking kind of, it grosses me out. That's why I'm talking about it so much.
it's all disgusting. It's all similarly disgusting. The back page of the Sun is "Don't mention the VAR." I'm surprised this is the only newspaper to go with the "Don't mention the VAR" headline. Actually, Boss Löw shell-shocked as his stars crash out. And you've also got Snub-a-Dub, which is a good one from Gordon Manning. And Ifs and Buts, Gareth Southgate is demanding England beat Belgium tonight. The back page of The Guardian, then moving on to the UK back pages, is "End of the world as we know it. Champions Germany tumble out of the group stage for the first time."
Going to talk about Germany a little bit later on with some German press to see what the response has been like and whether or not they're going to run Joachim Löw out of town.
And a historic humiliation is the front page of the Daily Telegraph sports section. Holders Germany suffer their earliest exit from the World Cup for 80 years after losing to South Korea. Let's have a look at the front and the back of the UK Sun. Schadenfreude, pleasure derived from another person's misfortune. I saw Owen Gibson of The Guardian tweet yesterday say, what's the German for Schadenfreude? And the back page of the Sun is eliminated, cut out and keep to make you smile when you're feeling low.
So hang on, the Don't Mention the VAR is actually the Irish Sun's back page headline.
Yeah.
So fair play to them. They clearly outperforming the London-based subs.
Sir Bobby Psycho, Chrissy Waddle, El Tel, Gareth Lamps and every England fan. This is for you.
Except it's not really, because you've nothing to do with it. So, you know, that you just look petty and mean.
Yeah, well, so does every sort of media outlet in the UK. Well, not everyone. I don't want to throw them all at one brush. But did you see Gary Lineker's sign off on the BBC last night?
No.
It was just, he said goodbye in German and waved down the camera in a very smug way.
How few does that?
Yes, I forgot what it was. I only did 1 year of German in secondary school. Yeah, so... You know, the smugness can come along, I guess, but...
They've got at least another 3 days of it.
They would want to just bite their tongue for a little while and then go ahead with it. The reaction in Germany is, as you'd expect, here's the front page of Bild, and this is beyond words.
Side by side, the 7-1.
Sorry. Yeah, this is the
greatest moment in German World Cup history where they thrash Brazil 7-1 and then, oh, look, it's the same headline after they just got knocked out by South Korea.
And inside the paper, there's an in-depth breakdown of a photo of the team bus, which reads, Wednesday evening, 8:41 local time, the national team's blue bus departs from the stadium after the biggest disgrace of World Cup history before a completely uncertain future. The big question, will Joachim Löw step down now? And the national coach, as you can see in the front row next to Thomas Schneider, he presses his lips together, he stares into a void, totally bewildered. That is complete poetry from Bild. And then on Ozil, they're reporting that he was involved in a verbal altercation with fans after the match. And according to eyewitnesses, Ozil threw his jersey into the stands. He suddenly turned around, gesticulated and shouted towards the fans. A goalkeeping coach and bodyguard had to intervene. What was the trigger for the confrontation? Ozil's body language suggests that fans insulted him on the way to the dressing room. What exactly happened? It remains unclear. So the plot thickens via build there in the wake of Germany's World Cup exit.